In today's edition of What in the Actual Hell, please meet James and Suzanne Agnew, and also meet James O'Neill, whose family started to get a little bit worried about him when they had not seen him since 2019. He had been living with the Agnews. So James's brother asked the police to go over and do a little welfare check at the residence of the Agnews. So they go knock on the door and say, "Is James here?" James comes out and says, "Yeah, I hadn't seen them since 2019. I don't care anything about talking to them. They're dead to me." Well, they go back over and tell James's brother that's what he said, and he's like, "I don't believe it." So they show him the body cam footage and say, "Look, here he is saying that," and he's like, "That ain't my brother. That is James Agnew, not James O'Neill." So they go back on over and they talk to the Agnews again, but they're like not having any of it. They don't want to talk to him anymore, so they shut down. Well, Mr. O'Neill's brother was not having that, so he says, let me call up the Agnews and tell them I've got an inheritance that has to be deposited into Mr. O'Neill's account. Well, they're all great. We'll help you do that. He don't want to talk to you, but here's his information for his bank account, because of course they want the money. So they give him the information, but then he says, no, James has to be present to deposit this money. Well, sorry, wrong number. And they don't talk to him anymore. Well, the police are a little curious by this time, so they open a missing persons file on Mr. O'Neill. That allows them to open up an investigation. Now, they start looking into those bank accounts and those ATM withdrawals, and they go back and they pull the surveillance video, and who do you think is withdrawing that money? None other than James Agnew. So now they're really curious as to where is Mr. O'Neill. They go and arrest Mr. Agnew on some other charges, and with that, they get a little search warrant. So they call Suzanne in and they say, "Hey, Suzanne, we got him on these other charges. We really want to know where Mr. O'Neill is. We're about to execute this search warrant." And she said, "No, please don't go in my house. Please don't go in my house." "Okay, go in my house, but you're going to find Mr. O'Neill in the back room in there, dead as a doornail." So they do go in there. They find Mr. O'Neill's body. She goes on to say that they had been in a throuple relationship for years and he died. And they said, "Hey, let's keep him around and use his card." The police officer said, "Hey, when did you decide to cover him up?" She said, "About a week after he died, whenever the Chihuahua started chewing on him. The Chihuahua started chewing on him, so we covered him with a deflated air mattress. And there is where he laid until the police found him." Awesomest thing about this entire thing, or perhaps the most horrible thing about this entire thing, is that they were only charged with stealing his money because they didn't kill him.